Good morning, this is Dustin with Orlando Painters. It is July 6th, 2017, and we're here at Atlantic Aviation. This is Mears Transportation, one of their airplane hangars. And we were here yesterday. We're going to paint the entire inside of this place. We were here yesterday pressure washing, scraping, and everything. So you can see all these metal beams, all these horizontal galvanized beams were just completely covered in flaking paint. We still have some areas where, back in this corner, we still have to get that. This back wall is complete drywall, not green board or anything, just regular drywall, peeling all over the place. So we had to hand scrape every single panel and get all the peeling, flaking paint off of it. I'll get back to that. Up above this building here, there's still flaking paint and stuff on those horizontal support beams. And we'll get in there, get that all hand scraped. This wall, all the walls were covered in mildew and like jet exhaust soot, complete black. So we had to pressure wash everything. All these beams, these big I-beams going across here. You can see all the paint missing. But what happened is they had a company come in here and paint this, I don't know how long ago, 4 or 5 years ago or so. And within, like they said, within a year and a half, all the paint was peeling all over the place. This is all galvanized metal, all these vertical or horizontal support beams here. And when you prime that, you just can't come in and prime it with any kind of primer. It has to be a primer designed for galvanized metal. And I guess that company didn't know that. So they just, either they shot regular paint on there or just some kind of cheap primer that didn't work. After less than a year and a half or so, it was, you can see up here, I'll zoom in on it. We had 2 hefty trash bags completely full of paint chips. So we had to clean all this floor and stuff afterwards. And here's still some of the debris out here. It was soaking wet out here and it was sticking to the ground, so we couldn't clean it up, but we'll clean it up today now that it's dry. Whoever painted this raw drywall back here, they didn't prime the drywall at all. They just shot some regular cheap finish paint over the top of it, peeling all over. All the galvanized metal, peeling all over the place. These beams, they come pre-primed, that red color and that's showing through. That's all pre-primed metal. I don't know what they used for paint, but it's peeling off everywhere, so must have been some real low quality paint they used. So we're gonna get in here this morning. We're running like a 36-inch rosin paper border all the way around the perimeter here. And then we're gonna completely tarp this entire floor, so there's nothing lands on this floor. No overspray or paint sprinkles or anything. On all this like structural steel, we're going to use a 2-part epoxy primer, and there's corrosion that it's kind of hard to see and stuff, so I want to get all the corrosion covered with a 2-part epoxy primer. That's what we want to use on corrosion. And then all these horizontal support arms here, beams here, we're going to put the right primer for galvanized metal. That's the second primer we'll be using, and then the third primer, we're going to shoot a drywall primer on all that back there. So today is going to be scraping and sanding, getting all the rest of the loose paint off, getting the place cleaned up, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to use 3 different primers on 3 different substrates, and we'll allow that all to dry overnight. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll start the finish coating tomorrow. We're gonna spray everything, all these ceilings. This was all brand new. Just last week they sprayed in this insulation foam stuff in this ceiling. They had leaks all over the place and it's super hot in here. So they got all this sealant sprayed with this insulation. The only bad thing is they didn't protect any of those beams going across there. It would have been nice if they would have taped it all off, papered it all off, did their job, then pulled the paper up, but they didn't. They sprayed the beams and everything. It kind of would have been nice to have a nice, all the beams kind of matching the side beams and these I-beams with a nice semi-gloss industrial coating that we're putting on here. Would have been nice, but it is what it is now. So we really didn't want to take a pressure washer, you know, commercial pressure washers with our rotary turbo tips and start buzzing all that insulation off these beams and then hitting the actual insulation up there. So they said just leave it alone, it is what it is, and I said okay. We're still going to try to scrape some of it off to smooth out some of the big chunks they have. You can see right there, they got a big chunk right here. Not that they care, I'm just kind of OCD, like perfectionist, so I just want it to look absolutely flawlessly perfect when we're done. So today's just more prep, and primer like crazy. And then, like I said, we'll get everything coming here tomorrow. Same thing, get everything cleaned up, make sure the floor's thoroughly 100% covered, and we'll get into our finish coating. And then we'll probably get most of this project done tomorrow, but I want to kind of spend one more extra day here and fine-tune everything, make sure everything's perfect. We appreciate the business from this is Mears Transportation. They're very important to me. I want to make sure everything's perfect for them, and they're super happy when they send out a check. I just want everybody to be happy. And glad they chose me to do business with. So again, this is Dustin with Orlando Painters LLC, www.orlandopainters.net. Thanks for watching this short video. I'll make a final video on Monday to show you exactly how it turned out. We'll do a walkthrough Monday with our customer and make sure everybody's happy and get on to the next project. Thank you and have a wonderful rest of the week.